Hey, we're live. Good morning, 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. I hope you're doing well. I'm having a G-Diffy day. I don't know if it's my glasses. It's my glasses. Anyway, hope you're doing well. So, today, I tried to do my good day this morning. It's just a story, a little side story. And the guy left his car running for 2 days. My neighbor took the kids to the bus stop and everything. And they're like, oh, yeah, that car and the gray car has been running for 2 days now. I'm like, what? So I go in the car, right? One check, it's still running. I go look for some information. Parent lives down the street. Knock on the door, ring the doorbell, try to wake him up, tell him his car's running, and then I go back to the car and look for some papers for a phone number because he sure the hell wasn't waking up. Figure maybe he's dead from a drug overdose. God knows. He's probably not. But the guy's walking his dog down. Hey, get out of my car. He's so yelling at me. Even my neighbor who was walking the kids and all, I can hear it all the way down the street. Like, dude, didn't you hear me ringing on your damn doorbell? I was trying to call you. And I showed him my phone, calling the phone number and on a piece of paper on a receipt that was in the car because it was the same name and everything. But you know what? That's your story. I'm not going to say doing a good day is a bad thing because I'm going to say this. Actually, I'm going to call him later or text or whatever, try the phone number that I had and try to recall him after my phone charges up. Because if that guy had that car in his garage, his nice garage, I'm in the city, there's no garage, the indoor parking. If he had that car in his garage, he'd be dead from carbon monoxide poisoning because that car would have been running for a day and a half. He probably literally would be dead because the houses aren't designed to not prevent the carbon monoxide. He would have passed out. So it ran for a day and a half, yet he yells at me. You know what the worst thing is, though? He apologized for yelling at me, but it didn't say thank you, which is sad in this world. It would have been nice to have a thank you. Thank you for trying to get a hold of me. But he just apologized for yelling at me. I said, well, that's fine. But people are like that. And Philly people, I don't know, people in general, they're not your whatever. Everybody has a bad day. Apparently he's going to have a bad day because his car's been running for 2 days. Anyway, that's my little side story, and that's about change. Our topic for today is, can people change? Will people change? So let's talk about that a little bit. And I was listening to Bob Proctor, and who's one of the people from The Secret. If you ever saw that movie or read the book, he said, and maybe he was quoting somebody else, so I don't know the exact thing, and I don't memorize that kind of stuff sometimes. That's what I have to do. He says, it's not that people, and I think he was quoting somebody else, it's not that people won't change. They just don't like to be changed by other people. It's not until they want to change do things change. And how does that affect you as an Agile coach or a Scrum Master when you're a change agent in this whole Agile world? And helping people get better. So we're going to talk about that a little bit today. So I am Greg Mester, Scrum Master and Agile Coach. I hope you're doing well. And we have Bubbles here, who's going to move the camera. Bubbles, you want to say hi? There's Bubbles. She has to be on YouTube for some reason. And I got dog cat right there. So I don't know how this is going to go. Bubbles, you got to stop moving the camera. And we talk about Agile and Scrum in a practical, tactical way so you can bring value to your customer without working crazy hours. And get home to family and friends so you can get yelled at by your neighbor for doing a good deed like I did this morning. And hopefully have fun and enjoy life at work and at home. Because if it's not fun at work, it's just not. You're working too many hours not to be fun and enjoying what you do. So, change. Our job as Agile coaches and Scrum Masters are really to inspire, to help people change to whatever they want to be. Right, to what they want to do. If they're not having fun at work, how do we change that? How do I work with you to help you accomplish where you're enjoying what you do? Those are the kind of questions. I coach myself. One of my things is when I see all these people working long hours, I go, well, don't you want to take a vacation? Don't you want to take a day off? And I'm experiencing now, and it happens everywhere. And this is not a thing where people take it off right now for the rest of the year. Why aren't they taking off throughout the entire year? Why do they feel like they can't take off? And then you have no production in the last month of the year. What is up with that? Whose idea from a management HR perspective does that absolutely make sense? Let's not take any vacation off because we're working our ass off too many hours and we can't take off at all through the year. And we wait till the end of the year where here in the Northeast, it's cold. or whatever, unless you're going to take a vacation to Florida, I guess. But it's like prime Florida time. I'd rather be in the fall when it's not too hot. But what's up with that? So that goes to the change thing. People do not want to be changed. They want to change themselves. If they are into the change, they will make the change. But until they make that decision, they're not going to change. So you're just going to get resistance. If you try to change else without them getting to understand the change and appreciating the change, it ain't going to happen. And just from a practical, tactical way, one, sometimes you got to feel the pain. You're all being all nice and goosey-woosey with people, and they're never going to change because you're making it not painful. When you get pain, sometimes you want to change. Like, if you don't want to go to the doctor, but if it really hurts, you're going to go to the doctor, right? If you can't run anymore, like me sometimes, my knees, but you're going to need to exercise. You need to get there. So when they think this is the way they want, well, who wants to work 60 hours a week? Who wants to work 80 hours a week? If you tell me you do, I'm going to say you're nuts. I'm going to outright call you out. Why? Like when I see people that have it all set up weird, I'm like, how do you do this? I couldn't do this. And they will admit that they can't do it either. When that happens is when you can introduce change and ideas and have a conversation about what would you like to have? What would you envision? How do you envision this actually working? And let's work together to get there. And I'll team up with you. You can use me. You can put ideas against me, how you want to do it. You can talk things out because I'm not going to hold it against you. I'm the coach. I'm just an Agile coach or Scrum Master that's just here to help you, right? And I'm not here I'm just helping you think about your process, get it through. Because if I tell them how they should work, without getting them to see the big picture, without understanding the change, without understanding the impact across the whole organization as a whole, they're not going to want to make the change. So all these people want to come down and tell you do this and that. And they don't make them they don't have them understand how it helps them. I help give tools like, okay, this is what you want to do. This is, you're going to get gigged for like, I'm going to say like quarterly evaluation, whatever. Well, how do we help you get a good evaluation besides cheating? I don't want to be I'm a very honest guy. One of the comments you'll hear from Greg is very honest guy, maybe to my fault, right? But yeah, so I just want to share that with you. If we as Agile coaches try to force change on people, just like Bob Proctor said, it ain't going to happen. It's going to be not the glorious change you think it's going to be. It might be a little change, but you want them to understand the process of being Agile in thought, how they work, and say, does that, sometimes you got to say, that hurt, didn't it? And they're like, yeah, it hurt. Well, can we work on it now and make it better? So sometimes you got to have them admit that it's painful and they don't like it. And until they say they don't like it, they're not going to change it. And you got to get them past that hump, right? I mean, you don't bang, but you need to get them past the hump where they admit to it. Yeah, this is not really working for me and I'm working crazy hours and I need to find a way to do it. Can you help me? It would be nice if they ask. So like the guys could have said, thank you. He didn't. Don't expect thank yous and can you help me please and stuff like that from people you're working with because they're in a stressful environment and it's going to happen that way. I get it. I shut it down though. I said, dude, I rang your doorbell, knocked on it, and hit your ring button, which wasn't ringing and everything, and knocked on your door a few times and you never came down. And I'm calling you on the phone right now. I get it. Someone was in my car, I'd be pissed too. I would say thank you though. But don't expect it. You can't, it's you or I or whatever. You may not get that, but that's okay. It's not a big thing. You just keep moving. My appreciation is the guy's alive. And the car's not stolen or broken into or destroyed. Though I think someone did go through the car last night. So who knows? Anyway, I want to wish you all a happy scrumming today. And just remember, try to work with the people with the change. Don't try to force change on them because it's going to make your life a miserable hell. Okay? With that, happy scrumming. Enjoy it. Bubble says bye. Jerry says, bye, boy. Oh, my little doggy, he just picked me up. I will say I changed because I always said I would never get this little tiny dog. I had a giant, if you remember Cookie, I think Cookie was still on the show when I first, I don't know, it might have passed. She's a 135-pound dog. Now I got this little mutt, a little Chihuahua, and a little Betty dog, and definitely a Bubbles. She thinks she's a dog, though. All right. Take care. Have a great day, and see you tomorrow.